I've had to keep this one quiet for a while. So finally it's time to talk about it, so here we go. Get ready for this. Just like Ann says, I'm falling in love again with this Mdrx, the next generation. In this video, we're going to go over what's new with the Mdrx, as well as new caliber conversion options and other features of the rifle. New conversion kits like the 20-inch 8-twist 6.5 Creedmoor, the caliber-specific ratchet compensator, and for all you guys who've been waiting for a 300 blackout conversion kit, that is also finally available, which is a blast. The non-SBR blackout features a 16-inch barrel and a 6-twist, so you can shoot heavy subsonics as well as lighter supersonic ammunition. Also new with the Mdrx is the side eject model. This guy's available in 5.56 only, at least for the time being. We'll take a little bit of a closer look here at the side eject Mdrx, show you the differences between the standard forward eject and the side eject. You can see there's a cover panel on the opposite side of the ejection port that has a gasket underneath it as well to keep gas from coming out and getting all over your face and cheek. The port itself has a brass deflector to bounce brass away from the shooter, so kind of like your AR-15 would. Switching the rifle to a left-hand eject simply entails swapping those two panels from one side to another using a Mdrx driver, as well as rotating the bolt 180 degrees. Here you can see some of the detail of the bolt. It will look pretty familiar to those of you who like AR-15s. It's very similar, has a standard MDR extractor, but uses plunger-style ejectors, much like you'd be familiar with. Another difference you'll see on the Mdrx bolt carrier for the side eject is this aluminum spacer that rides on the side of the carrier. Its purpose is to close the gap to avoid debris from getting inside the receiver through the open ejection port. The spacer there is held in place by the firing pin retainer. As you can see, it just dovetails into that ejection lug on the side of the carrier and retained by the pin. That spacer can be swapped from one side of the bolt carrier to the other to accommodate for right or left ejection. Here you can see a little bit more of the bolt detail. The bolt has to be swapped 180 degrees if you're going to switch ejection sides. So you just take it out like you would any other MDR bolt and put it back in the carrier. Back on the outside of the gun here, you can see the gasket that goes underneath this cover on the opposite side of the ejection port. The one screw is all you'll need to swap it from one side to the other. The side eject conversion kit can be used in any of the Mdrx models. Including this next one we're going to talk about, which is the California compliant Mdrx, with a shark fin, a short mag, and a long barrel. This compliant MDR features a 308 10-twist barrel that's 20 inches long. It also has a 10-round magazine because somehow that must make the rifle safer. It also has a shark fin to prevent you from safely handling your firearm the way it was designed to. Once again, one of California's great ideas. The compliant Mdrxs will be available in 3 calibers, all of them 20-inch barrels, the 5.56, 308, and 6.5 Creedmoor. Like all Mdrxs, they will come with a ratchet compensator that are caliber specific. The 5.56, the 308, and the 6.5 will all be installed from the factory on these rifles. The ratchet uses side ports to strip gas from the muzzle, as well as some vertical ports to prevent the muzzle from rising. I was able to use the ratchet on several rifles. including an AR-10 or an LMT 308, and it was very effective at reducing the recoil felt by the shooter. The ratchet compensators use industry standard threads, 5/8 24 for the 308 and 6.5, and the half 28 for the 5.56 size, so you can easily adapt it to any of your rifles. The Mdrx will utilize a new style gas key that is a little bit easier to adjust from the outside position. You may have seen it on the blackout. It's also here on this 6.5 Creedmoor barrel. It's easier to adjust it with the handguard in place by sticking a tool or a bullet or something in there in order to adjust the gas valve should you feel the need. So here you can see our 20-inch barrel assembly. This one's a 6.5 Creedmoor. The 308 will obviously look just like it. The 5.56 will have the smaller half 28 muzzle threads on the front. This 6.5 Creedmoor conversion kit has been long awaited by many for the MDR. The 6.5 Creedmoor is well known for having superior ballistics over the standard 308, which is pretty common for most MDR owners. The 6.5 Creedmoor shoots a higher BC bullet, so it can give you effectively more range, arguably some more accuracy as well, depending on who you ask. I love the 6.5 Creedmoor. I've been shooting it for some time in my MDR. I also love the 308. It just kind of depends on what you want to shoot. The accuracy from the Mdrx models that I've fired has been on par with the MDR, fairly standard, 1 MOA, sometimes better, sometimes worse, depending on ammunition or the person pulling the trigger. Also, I ought to mention the things that make the Mdrx better. The Mdrx uses a new polymer blend that is supposedly stronger than the original MDR polymer blend. It also has some new trigger and sear geometry to make the trigger feel cleaner and lighter, as well as a new gas block geometry to help it better drain in event of water entering to it. So that basically sums up all the improvements with the Mdrx. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave some comments below and make sure you follow me on all my other channels. And I'll be sure to answer any questions I can. Thanks.
It worked.